What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Guillermo Rigondeaux versus John Riel Casimero, and this is going to be a 12-rounder for the WBO Bantamweight World Championship, and this fight is going to be Saturday, August 14th, from the Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on Showtime, and to get into both fighters' resumes, Guillermo Rigondeaux fighting out of Cuba. He holds a record of 20 wins, 1 defeat, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently not ranked by BoxRec in the bantamweight division. And to list some of the world titles he has won, he's won the interim WBA Super Bantamweight World title, as well as the WBA Super Bantamweight World title, the WBO Super Bantamweight World title, and the WBA Bantamweight World title. And to list his well-known defeat, it came by knockout to Vasyl Lomachenko, and his best victories came over Nonito Donaire by unanimous decision. He also has a knockout win over James Dickens, as well as a knockout victory over Julio Ceja, and he's coming off a split decision victory over Liborio Solis, although it should have been a unanimous decision. And to get into his opponent's resume, John Riel Casimero, fighting out of the Philippines, holds a record of 30 wins, 4 defeats, with 21 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 3 by BoxRec in the bantamweight division. And to list the world titles he has won, he's won the interim WBO light flyweight world title. He's won the interim IBF light flyweight world title. He's won the IBF light flyweight world title, the IBF flyweight title, and the interim WBO bantamweight title. And he is the current WBO bantamweight world champion. And to list his defeats, he has a loss by split decision to Ramon Garcia Hirales. He also has a knockout loss to Maruti Mtalani. He's got a unanimous decision defeat to Amnat Ruwenroang, and he has a unanimous decision defeat to Jonas Sultan. And to list some of his best victories, he has a 4th-round knockout win over Amnat Ruwenroang, a knockout victory over Charlie Edwards. He also has a knockout win over Zolani Tete, and he is coming off an explosive knockout victory on pay-per-view over Duke Micah. In my opinion, this fight is going to be really, really competitive, and I am very, very excited for it. Both these guys are world-class bantamweights. For some reason, BoxRec does not have Rigondeaux ranked, but he is, in my opinion, the top 5 in that division, if not top 10. And the same goes for Casimero. He's a top 5 guy in that division, and this should be a really, really good fight. It's a great contrast of styles. Casimero, the power-punching come-forward fighter, whilst Rigondeaux loves to box and fight that amateur style. Rigondeaux, one of the greatest amateurs of all time, in my opinion, when it comes to accolades. Casimero holds a lot of power. He's been talking a lot of trash for this fight. The weigh-in had a lot of hype and big event there too. And this is going to be a great fight, as I mentioned before. I could definitely see it going either way. I could see Casimero getting a knockout, or I could see Rigondeaux winning on points. Like last week, I was thinking that Casimero would knock him out. Now I'm thinking that Rigondeaux is going to take this one on points. I mean, this is the type of fight that boxing needs, a 50-50 fight that gets all the fans watching, and it should be a great one. And how do I see it playing out? I see early on Casimero going in there trying to get a knockout just like he did against Duke Micah, coming forward, really trying to push for a knockdown or a stoppage early on. So the first 3 rounds could go in favor of Casimero, but Rigondeaux always starts out well. Although he's a slow starter, he does box off the back foot, uses his jab, tries to counter to the body as well, and I could definitely see those first couple rounds being really, really close, either like 29-28, either way. But as the fight goes on, I mean, you could see Casimero getting a late stoppage. I mean, I could either see him getting an early stoppage, like just catching Rigondeaux cold, because Rigondeaux has been dropped and really, really hurt bad before. But he has came back in both of those fights where he has been dropped. But the thing with Rigondeaux, he is older. He, I believe, is 40 years old. Casimero as well, not really in his prime, but he is very, very powerful. And this is really the right time for both of these guys to face Naoya Inoue. I know for Rigondeaux, I mean, obviously he could have faced him a couple of years ago, but obviously that did not happen. But here I would love to see either man face him, and I hope that the winner gets that shot. But I believe that the winner will most definitely face Nonito Donaire, because Nonito Donaire was supposed to be against Casimero, because at first it was Rigondeaux Casimero, then Donaire, I believe, paid Rigondeaux some step-aside money, and then it was Donaire Casimero, but then Donaire pulled out for whatever reason, and now we have Rigondeaux versus Casimero once again, and I'm not complaining. This is still a tremendous fight that I'm very excited for, but I see this fight going the distance personally. I could see a stoppage for Casimero, as I mentioned before, but when you take a look at how Casimero has done when it went the distance, I mean, just a few years ago, he lost to that guy, Jonas Sultan, as I mentioned before, and that was a unanimous decision defeat in the Philippines. And Sultan was an opponent who does not really have a great resume. He was 13-3, not really much experience. So who knows? I definitely see Casimero losing a majority of the middle rounds because of Rigondeaux's boxing, using his jab and catching Casimero off guard with counter shot after counter shot. And I see him taking this one, as I mentioned before, on points. Comment down below how you think this fight is going to go, because I'm very intrigued and interested to see the variety of answers I might get. But at this point, I'm thinking Rigondeaux is going to box smart on the outside. And I know many people are saying Rigondeaux fights sort of boring. He fights scared. But, I mean, he really fights like a true amateur fighter. I mean, he has the fundamentals. He's very skillful. He's very wise. And that really makes for a tremendous fighter. And the problem with that type of style is that the judges don't really credit that style much, because we've seen many times before fighters that box on the outside and really dictate the action, landing the better shots, countering, moving around the ring generalship, and stuff like that. We don't really see them get so much credit as we saw like last week. Michael Fox got robbed against Gabriel Maestre, and Fox was the one who was boxing off the back foot, jabbing, and landing shots like that, but they gave it to Maestre, who was just coming forward and aggressing the fight, just sort of being the aggressor, but he wasn't really landing much. So I could definitely see them giving, or should I say, I could definitely see one judge giving it in favor of Casimero, although I think it will be like a clear 7-5. I know 7-5 is a close score, but I can see it being a clear 7-5, maybe 8-4, but I'm sort of leading to a close scorecard like that. So overall, I believe that Guillermo Rigondeaux will defeat John Riel Casimero by split decision, and I believe that the judges will score the bout 116-112 and 115-113 in favor of Guillermo Rigondeaux, and one judge will score the bout 115-113 in favor of John Riel Casimero. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.